sooner or later. It says that this Hangout on there is live. And this is me writing some F# code, building a imaginary app called Get Ride, which is similar to Uber or Lyft, and inspired by domain-driven design, fleshing out different domains such as the portal, where you can actually request a ride, and the accounts. And this is also playing with the idea of specification as a library, meaning that each domain, hence so far portal and account, will have a specification folder that actually has tests that basically document the specification, right? This is living documentation of the specification, as well as the actual specification library, hence account.specification or portal.specification. And so each specification library is going to be broken down into at least two files: your operations, which when doing type-driven development, I start off with defining the operations, and that will ultimately flesh out the types, aka the language that's to be used within that domain. And so here's an example of the different language or the different terms of the domain: card number, security code. This is for the account specification. We have a finite set of months in our month type, expiration date, whatever. The reasons for failure when attempting to add a payment, right? Add payment type failure reason. It could be a connection. It could be a issue with the holder name, expiration month, expiration year, security code, card number, card type. Okay. And yeah, so yesterday I defined these different operations, and then I started doing my test-driven development, and this was the result of it. Yesterday, I wrote valid card results in successful add payment type operation. Okay. Now, there's a couple things I want to refactor on this test. One is a bank card. It just has a name, and that name can include a middle name. And I don't think the bank card really cares about first name and last name. It just cares about the overall name. So with that said, this view model dot first name, view model dot last name, I think I just want to make this a view model dot name, something like that. And that would be mock some name like this. We get rid of last name over here. And now what? Well, so we can go to the definition of this, and we can just do something like that right there. And come here, something like this. And we can take this first name and call it, actually, I could just do Control RR and just say this is going to be name like that. Okay. And OCD says that I need to make this align with everything else. And this last name is no longer being used. Within the test API, you need to be aligned. There must be consistency. Okay. And in my test API, or should I say in my mock, I'll keep some first name, some last name, but I'll just have let some name equal, and then we could just say Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. Okay. So we do something like that. And if I go back to my test, Control Shift B, hopefully that should be happy. And Visual Studio is going to freeze. Hopefully everything should build. And if and when it does build, I'll run all the tests over here. And something tells me I need to upgrade my computer and get some beefier RAM. This is 16 gigs of RAM. My work machine was 32 gigs of RAM, and I kind of enjoyed that. All right, so I'll run all, and everything's green. Okay. So this valid card results in successful add payment type operation. We take a view model, we mock some account, we mock some attempt operation, and we pass in the empty list of handlers. Okay. And we set a whole bunch of properties on this view model for as if someone was adding a new card to their account to deduct from when they get a ride. And once they set those fields, we execute this add payment type command on the view model. And then we verify that the payment type was accepted, right? And that's a property that gets mutated as a result of add payment type being executed. So now what? Well, something else that we should probably have is valid card results in list of payment types. Valid card results in updated list of payment types. Okay. So we have all this right here, which now I'm starting to think, do I really want to have all this logic in here? Up in this test up here, this is necessary because this is specific to what a valid card is. It needs to have all these fields. But down here, I actually want to update this right here. I'm going to say adding new card results in successful updated list of payment types. And I don't know, I guess I could leave this for right now. I just don't think all this is necessary. If this was a C# project, I could do Control RM and it'll extract out these lines of code into its own method. I think I'm still going to do that. So I'm going to say add new, or I'm going to say mock add payment type. Okay. And that is going to be a Visa. And so then I'm going to go into my mock and I am going to add that. Let add payment type. And that's going to be card type. And that is going to have, that's going to require a view model as well, I guess. Card type. And we'll say view model. Okay. And this view model needs to be identified as a payment types. And that my test API needs to reference my accounts.viewModels over here. And when I do that, can I control dot on here, open accounts? Okay. And now what? Well, this payment type, this payment type is a string. So, okay, we're going to say you're going to be Visa over here. And so that will be this right here. And we can get rid of the mock here. Okay. And we need to indent this over here. And everything's happy. So we have add payment type as our mock function. That should be the same name right here. Control Shift B. And we want to get that to compile, and then we need to update this test section in this verify section. So if that is, it doesn't know it, the type string is not compatible with type payment type. Oh yeah, I need to add a view model. So you have something like this. Okay. Now this Visa, I'm not sure which one's going to read better, but I can go something like this. Visa, add payment type. Okay. Everything's green, or everything builds. Now I no longer need, let me see, let's just say set payment type. Set payment type. And okay, so that should be fine. And Control Shift B. Then we say add payment type that execute. And what I want to do now is this view model dot payment type accepted. Well, we already have a test that covers that. What I care about is there should be a, for this particular view model, do I need to have a property that has the existing payment types that are already there, and we're just appending this payment type to it? I don't think so, but the name of the view model is misleading. So this payment types should really be renamed to add payment type view model. Okay. Come here. Add payment type view model. And we should change this to add payment type. Okay. And if we look up here, that's not cascading down to the other. Control Shift B. Uh-oh. Now, I think I should be allowed to do this. Can I have an add payment type as the name of the class and also have a command that is also called add payment type? Well, this class, there's no red squigglies on this class right here, so that appears to be allowed. And this needs to be updated. Add payment type. Okay. And Is there anything else? No, that is referencing. So we have to say accounts dot, and it should be view models dot add payment type. So your mock, I thought we were already referencing. Yeah. So if I go back to add payment type up here, the namespace is account.viewModels. That's the qualified name for add payment type. And that's what I have right here. So that should just work. And it, yeah, so 4 succeeded, 0 failed. I still get these red squigglies. Hopefully, if I close all this out, that's not going to go away. And maybe if I close Visual Studio and reopen it, then maybe those squigglies will go away. I gotta get rid of that. Okay, so we go to our account. I don't see any red squigglies yet. And what I care about is the latest test that I wrote, which I don't think is going to be valid for that particular view model class because this should really be payment types over here, if anything. So when someone, in regards to this test over here, when someone adds a new payment type, they do that through the add payment type page or view that's bound to the add payment type view model. And once that executes successfully, then they should observe on a different page or view their updated payment types with the recent payment type that they added included. Okay. So that is going to that is a different test targeting a different view model. And I'm not sure if I really want to write that or not, because that's kind of going across two different view models, and that could make the test, well, that'll make the test kind of interesting to write. And I'm not sure if I have the energy to write that, nor I'm not sure if I need to write that. And I'm going to put that on hold right now. But something else that probably should be written is, Control MO, and no, I'll take that back. Something else that, okay, so apparently something else that should be written is when we remove a payment type, that is going to also be another or a different view model. And I don't think I have it in me to write that code yet. It's too early in the morning, but there will be a remove payment type. We'll do remove payment type. that would be the test right here. And your setup will be, I don't know yet, some account, some successful attempts. So now that we have this remove payment type into consideration, we need to rename what this successful attempt is, because this successful attempt is specific to adding a payment type. So we need to make that apparent. Successful add payment attempt. We'll just say successful add attempt. And there will probably be a successful remove attempt as well. No. Successful. This attempt includes both add payment and remove payment. So maybe that's okay right now. Okay. And then this is going to be a different view model, and it's going to be a remove payment type dot execute. And then that, I mean, that's going to reach into an external system, but even if there's no connectivity to the external system, this should still succeed regardless. And maybe it relies on a message queue to eventually make contact with the external system and then do it eventually, regardless of if it can't do it immediately. So payment type accepted. If it that's details. Maybe I should always assume. Yeah, I'm not sure. This payment type accepted, that is no longer a property. That's no longer a property, right? It never was a property on our new view model, which is remove payment type. And let me close all that out. Okay. So this over here will be, we could say payment type removed. And that should be okay. And then if we were to look at, come back. If we were to look at our view models under our account, I need a scope to this. Then I can maybe, it's not really copy paste, but okay, we'll copy paste. And this will be a remove and something like this. Okay. And I want this to be down here. Remove payment type .fs. And this will be a remove payment type account attempt handlers. Okay, that looks fine. All this payment type removed equals false. This is no longer relevant. And this stuff is no longer relevant. Okay. Now, this actually has me, now that I see 2 month, 2 month, 2 type and 2 month, that looks like it can be, that looks like it doesn't belong in my view model for this add payment type. That looks like this can be extracted away. that this logic looks like it could be in my domain. And I don't have a domain yet. So we can create a domain, add new project, and this can be a accounts dot domain. Okay. And that would be a 02 this. Okay. And we're going to reference our account dot specification and get core. Okay. And this will be, I don't know, this is going to be converters or whatever, .fs. And then over here, we'll just say boom. And that's it. Now what? Well, this should be a module. And we can pull this back over here. We should be able to. It doesn't know what all this is. So we say open and accounts dot specification dot language. Okay. And now all that is happy. So if I go back to my original file, then we can, within my view models, I can reference the account.domain up here in my view models. And I can go ahead and say open, and I say account.domain, and all that should be straight. Okay. So now I have a view model that, this not validated card can also be extracted out to my domain. And I think, right? No. It's card type, card number, expiration month, security code. Well, it still can. I just have to card type, card number. I don't know if I want to do all this. Expiration month. Expiration year. And see, yeah, account. Yeah, all this stuff is too much. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave this inside where am I at? I'm going to leave this inside my view model. It's supposed to have a unit at least. Okay. If I go back to my remove payment over here, then I can get rid of this and really get rid of all this stuff over here. Except for this payment type accepted, we can say payment type removed. So that's a property that we'll need. Everything else can go except for that payment type and name. Card number. That stuff can be used to render on the user interface to identify the card. And now that I think about it, one could say that there probably could be an alias property for the card, such as business card or checking card, but I'm not going to do that right now. Do that over here. Okay. And what else? So card type, card number. Could re-add that over here. Oh, shoot. Come here. Okay. The submit, we don't know what that's going to be yet. And that's it for right now. I should be able to build this, and I think that this should actually compile regardless of the red squigglies. I just need to sync it up with that actual view models project in my account domain. It says X is unused. Okay. That's just a warning. And it says it failed. And Visual Studio is freezing. Payment type removed is not defined. Oh, what did I call it down here? Oh, okay. Removed. And I'm building the solution again. Visual Studio freezes. Right now, that submit isn't doing anything. But if it did, then I would want to rely on my attempt and remove payment type is not defined. What's the name of the? Oh, yeah, okay. Remove payment type over here. Okay. This submit function right here, that would really be a attempt dot remove payment type. And that remove payment type takes an account and a validated card. Okay. So account, and it takes a validated card, which would replace this card type and card number. So here I could just have card equals, and over here, I think I would just have a account. I'll add the card in the constructor, validated card. Okay. Then I don't think I would need that. And that looks okay. This is no longer needed. Well, no, this remove payment type will probably be a list of cards. And then you have a card that you select. So let mutable card, whatever, equals. And right now that's going to be none because it's not selected yet. Or you could say null, but I don't think that's going to be legal. So you have to say none. So this will be a option. And that would also be a cards, and this would be a list. And by default, we just have that right there. Okay. So now what? Well, this right here, this submit would actually be a I think the submit would be maybe a function. And this would be some card. Then that would result in this right here. Also would be none. And you just wouldn't have anything at all. Something like that. Now, why is this complaining? But this branch is unit. Hold up. What does this remove? Oh, it removes. It does a result. This remove payment type is a result, and so I need to have the same. Let's say there should be an error of some type, and the error description should be unexpected. All right, I could say failed to submit. Failed to submit card that's not selected. Something like that. Okay. So this payment type over here and card number, that's not needed. All we care about is a card. This should be a card, and we can go ahead and do this over here. And this should be cards, and we can update this over here. Okay. And so this submit over here is submitting the x dot card. That's what it should be. Our x dot card is an option, so that should be fine. It says the expression was expected to have unit. Yeah. So this is going to, we're going to actually need to say this is going to be function, and over here we'll have okay, and I don't know what this is supposed to be. So if it's okay, then we have a validated card list. Okay, so cards, and that is going to be, oh, okay. That is going to be our x dot cards equals cards. Okay. And put that back up here as x. And if it is an error, then there's some type of message, and then we just payment type remove needs to be included in this. Payment type remove equals true. X dot payment type removed equals true. Okay, and people may not like the way I did that, so I get it. Okay, so in the case of an error message, we want to we want to broadcast that message, but I'll do that later. Right now, we'll just say that we don't care about the message right now. That'll bite us later. But payment type removed equals false. Okay. And this none, everything in the code, the unit does not match a result. I don't know what this is. This right here. Okay. That will result in this over here. Okay. And I like the way that looks almost. So this account and card, I want to be cool. And so I'm going to use some funky syntax that Don Syme disagrees with, as well as Tomas Petracek. But I want to act cool and say that I know how to do F sharp. And so regardless of if it is intuitive by people that are more novice, so that makes me look cool. I like the way that looks. Yes. Okay. And this all looks green right now. And, Do I need this broadcast right now? Yeah, maybe. So I could say, I could say, message. This is supposed to be message over here, right? So I could say message. And then over here, I could say broadcast and broadcast that to handlers. Okay. And you could go over here and we're all happy so far. Okay. Air out the space right there. This broadcast is used in both view models, so that could be promoted to core. Okay. And so I can throw that. I could throw that. I think it's pretty relevant. Throw that up here. I think you have to define your types first before you define your functions. If that's the case, no. Okay. I could do it like that. So does that payment type? I can remove the broadcast there as well. Because you're not needed. Okay. That up there. Remove payment type. This holder is not being used. Okay. Um, okay, we're good there. The system doesn't appear to be used anywhere. Okay. And this looks okay to me. And okay. So if I go back to my test over here, remove payment type, uh, that looks okay to me. And yeah, that all this should build. We're going to delete this right here. I don't need that right now. So Control Shift B, this appears to be building. And it should build. And when I run it, it should just something I didn't do. I don't think. Yeah, I think I have a. Do I have a mock remove payment type? Set payment type. Successful. Yeah, that's this right here. Okay, if I run my test, this is the test that I care about that I just built out the view model for, and I think this should pass. The build succeeded. The test is getting ready to run and it fails. Okay, so if we look at this, payment type removed should equal true, but it was false. So we'll put a breakpoint right here, hit F9, Control RT is to run the test. Execute, remove payment type, submit x.card. And yeah, that makes sense because we didn't set a card in here. right? So we need to set, we need to, in here, say view model dot card uh, equals, I think this is the option type, right? Some, and in this case, this is supposed to be a validated card. And so in order to accomplish that, how do we do this? I'm not sure how we do this right now. I know that earlier we had a, yeah, let me go back over here. We need a validated card. And I know I have a mock dot set payment type. And I think I'm supposed to say like Visa or something. And that's let, I don't know if that returned a invalidated card or not. Set payment type, card type string. Type string is not compatible, add payment type. Oh, it needs a view model. And so that's the payment type. Let's add card view model. Add payment. Well, yeah, we'll call it add card. Oh, add payment type view model. But all these payment types are cards for right now. And that's this right here. And so the reason why I have that is because I think I need to do this right here. And that's going to return me, that doesn't do anything. The set payment type. I think that just updates the view model. Okay. This view model, we have a, somewhere in here, we get a validated card, card number, expiration, whatever, whatever. It's okay right here is that's our validated card right here. And so our add payment type, we need to create a new property because I want to get access to this card. This should be consistent with the properties that are here. Um, Okay. And okay. So over here, I want to, oh shoot, watch out. Over here, I want to that card validated or added card. I want that card. And so this would be added card like that. Get access to that. And we'll define that up here. Let mutable added, come here. Let mutable added card. And that's going to unfortunately be none for right now. But when we do get it, we will say that our x dot added card equals some card. Okay. And you are happy, my friend. And there must be order and alignment. Yeah. Okay. And so that's fine over here. Control Shift B. Okay. And we go back to our account over here. All right. And so this add payment type should now have, I really don't like this add payment type. That's hard to read. We're going to call this add card view model. Okay. That's easier to read. And same over here. And, okay. So we have our add card view model. We mock set payment type. And then we're just going to execute that as well. That's going to give us our card. Okay. Now, once we do that, we should be able to our viewModel.card over here. Our viewModel card over here should now be able to reference, oh, God damn it, should now be able to reference our added card over here. And so I wish I could say dot value. Yeah, I can. Good. So this, well, actually, I don't need value. This should be it right here then. Okay. So we have that working for us. And when we attempt to invoke this remove payment type, that remove payment type should now be pointing to a card. And that card, yeah, I think that's okay. We'll find out. So if I do Control RT, will I even get to this line over here? execute, submit card for removal. That's going to return OK. Our cards is payment type removed. And that's true. And we have a green test. Okay. Everything's green. The test just passed. Now, can all this be simplified right here? I think so. It's kind of hard to read this test. We have our add card view model. And so this can be perhaps refactored into all I really care about is that card. You know that, right? So this can be like let card equal, and then say register card. Okay. And we could say this is mock dot register card. Okay. And I think that would be a lot cleaner. Okay. And so over here, we say come here, Willis, and say register card. And we'll just put this in here like that. Okay. And something like that over here. Is this right? I'm missing the equal sign. And this needs to be indented. And we don't need this mock here. We don't need this mock here. We don't need this mock here. Okay. And we just need to return that card though. We need to return that card. So we can do a add card view model dot added card like that. Now this can just be a view model. We can rename that. Okay. And that looks good to me. Okay. So we have register card, and we can do that over here. And that looks fine to me. Control Shift B. Ah, shoot. But what I missed is this original view model still needs to be in this test. So let me copy this and then that I have in here before. Okay, that right there. So here is a card, and that looks a lot cleaner. But honestly, I don't even have to do that. I'm so smart. Look at that. Fucking beautiful, man. So we have that over there. Yeah. And this is a nice refactor. Yeah. So then we run all over here. Oh, I like the way I did that. That's nice. Okay. That register card though, that could be renamed to validated card, right? Let's use the vocabulary. Validated card. Now that Sounds better. Willis. Okay. You build that. And remove payment type execute. View model dot payment type remove should equal true. Yes. Okay. And that should build. And I mean, the test should still go green, right? So I like this. This is nice. All right. I like my test. It's clear. It's documentation. And yeah, I like it. So everything's green. Hungry hippos. Remove payment type over here. That stuff looks clean. I like it. Oh, okay. So, do we still need this over here? Am I using? Yeah. Well, we don't need this over here. We can just do this right here. Like that. Yeah. Okay. And we can do like that right here. Okay. And something like that over here. Okay. Okay. I like it. Honestly, that's OCD says that that's unnecessary. Bring this back over here. Okay. All right. So do I really need this language over here? Let's see if I have red squigglies. I don't have red squigglies. All right. Now what? I think this is good, man. So far, I like the way this looks. This over here. That's not. Hold up. Hold up, Willis. Bring that over here. This is software craftsmanship at its finest. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, do something like that. Okay. But you know what? I think that I should make this a line over here. Okay. Something like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all right. So we go over here and we get the rest of this. And yeah, I like it. All right. Review my account that specification, operations part specifically. We just wrote an interpreter for this function type right here, right? Specification as a library. You have your specification as its own isolated library, and we just write interpreters to interpret that specification, and that's what I just demonstrated over here for this remove payment type. I wrote an interpreter, right? So I'm good. I feel good about myself. Check this in. Commit. And we could say remove card support. And check that in. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's nice. So I'm Scott Nimrod. I'm available for a contract. I help businesses conquer technical problems via native application development, whether it's desktop or mobile, or I'll do back-end development. I love writing tests. I'm one of few developers that actually brag about their unhealthy fetish about test automation. And I'm on it, right? So this is, I think, volume 5 of live programming with F#. Hence this Get Ride app that I'm just messing around with. Building muscle memory. Keep me in mind if you know of any companies. Also have a government security clearance in the United States. If you know any companies or biz or government agencies that need some help, keep me in mind. All right. I'm Scott Nimrod. I'm on Twitter, aka Bizmonger, and I'm out. Adios, te veo a ratito, and stop this broad.